Excretory system in insects. Excretion nothing but unselective removal of substances from the hemolymph which forms the primary urine in the Malpighian tubules, and selective modification of the primary urine takes place by reabsorbing the useful compounds in the Malpighian tubules and also in the rectum. So excretory system mainly involved in maintaining the ionic and water balance in the insect body as well as elimination of nitrogenous waste material. Let's look at the Malpighian tubule. Malpighian tubule is a primary organ of excretion which is finger-like structure present at the junction of midgut and hindgut. These are freely lying in the hemolymph. This Malpighian tubule was discovered by Marcello Malpighi in 1669. The Malpighian tubule is divided into two regions. One is 1/3 of proximal region involved in reabsorptive function, that is called as brush border, whereas 2/3 of the distal region of Malpighian tubule involved in secretion of primary urine. It is called as honeycomb border. Number of Malpighian tubules vary with the insects. In some insects you may find only 2 Malpighian tubules. In some insects you may find about 100 Malpighian tubules. But Malpighian tubules are absent in Collembola, Apids and in some Thysanura. Based on the primary urine production as well as reabsorptive regions, there are 4 types of Malpighian tubules. In Arthroptera, whole Malpighian tubule involved in primary urine production as well as reabsorption of minerals, ions, water, etc. In Coleoptera, proximal region involved in primary urine production, whereas distal region involved in reabsorption. In Hemiptera, distal region is involved in primary urine production, whereas proximal region involved in reabsorptive in function. In Lepidoptera, distal region performs the primary urine production, whereas proximal region along with the rectum involved in reabsorptive in function. So if you look at the function of the Malpighian tubules, main function is to regulate the salt, water and nitrogenous waste excretion. Apart, it involved in primary urine production, and in spittle bugs, these Malpighian tubules secrete the spittle, whereas silk secretion takes place in larval Neuroptera, light production in Boletophila larva. In some chrysomelids, sticky substances it secretes for protecting the eggs. Malpighian tubules produces the primary urine which is rich in potassium ions but low in sodium and chloride ions. ATPase enzyme pumps the hydrogen ions into the lumen of the Malpighian tubules from the hemolymph. By antiporter system, hydrogen ions get exchanged with the potassium ions which creates high osmotic pressure inside the lumen. As a result, water moves through the cell and many solids which are soluble in water also move into the these Malpighian tubules, where reabsorption of some of the substances takes place inside in the Malpighian tubules, and in the rectum also some of the selective reabsorption of the substances takes place. So finally nitrogenous waste material is being excreted. The whole excretory process is regulated by ion transport peptides as well as chloride transport stimulating hormones, whereas the diuresis, that is production of urine, is regulated by diuretic hormone. Let's see the organs associated with excretion. First one is Malpighian tubules. I already told about it. It involved in regulation of water, salt and nitrogenous excretion. Next one is rectum. It also involved in reabsorption of solids and water from the urine, whereas theprocytes, these are the cardiac cells present on the heart surface. They take up high molecular weight substances from the hemolymph which cannot be taken up by Malpighian tubules. And venocytes are the specialized blood cells mainly involved in some excretory function. And integument, where molting is also a kind of excretory process where egg GUI is being eliminated from the insect body. And tracheal system involved in removal of carbon dioxide. Next one is excretory products. In aquatic insects and cockroach Lucilia, where ammonia is a primary nitrogenous end product. It is highly toxic and contains more than 85% of nitrogen. It requires more water to eliminate from the insect body, that is 3 molecules of hydrogen required to eliminate 1 molecule of nitrogen. So this type of excretion is called as aminotelism. Whereas in terrestrial insects, uric acid is a primary nitrogenous end product. It is relatively harmless and require less water to eliminate, that is 1:1. So this type of excretion is called as uricotelism. In carpet beetles and bruchids, nitrogenous excretory end product is urea. Whereas in stick insects, Dysdergus and blowfly larva, that is nitrogenous end product is allantoin. Whereas in paired butterflies, nitrogenous end product is allantonic acid. So urea is again converted to allantoin with the help of uricase enzyme, and allantoin is further converted to the allantonic acid with the help of allantoinase enzyme. In terrestrial insects, water is main constraint. In order to conserve water, insect crypto arrangement in such a way that the distal end of the Malpighian tubules are in close contact with the rectum and enclosed by a layer of perinephric sheath. So this adaptation is more prevalent in insects which feeds on dry foods which contain a less amount of water. So this type of condition is called as cryptonephridial condition. You can see this type of excretion in larval Lepidoptera, adult and grubs of Coleoptera, and grub of antlion. Next one is storage excretion, where uric acid stored in the urate cells of fat bodies in a harmless manner instead of being excreted. These waste products are stored in the body rather than eliminating them. In cockroach, uric acid is stored in urate cells of the fat bodies, and it again utilizes that uric acid when it feeds on the diet which is a deficit in nitrogen. And uric acid stored in the body wall which gives white color pattern in red cotton bug, whereas stored in scales, wing scales, which gives white color in paired butterflies. Please do subscribe and like my videos. If you have any doubts, please comment below the video. Thank you.